Annie suddenly realized that her husband was a deranged murderer, and the corpse was embedded within the walls of their own home. To verify her suspicions, Annie pushed aside the cabinet and discovered cracks in the wall. She then grabbed a hoe and started digging at the wall. During this process, Annie could still vividly picture her husband laying the bricks. However, despite chipping away a large portion of the wall, she found nothing. Just as Annie began to think she was imagining things, she turned around and witnessed a horrifying scene. The fingers of a mummified corpse were embedded in the wall. Even more bizarre, the corpse's fingers wore the same ring as hers. In a panic, Annie notified the police. Based on their investigation of the scene, the police found it strange. It was the woman's first day moving into this manor, so how did she know there was a corpse hidden in the wall? Annie told the police that as soon as she entered the house, images of the hidden corpse scene appeared in her mind. To uncover the truth, she had chipped open the wall. However, the police did not believe that Annie possessed such supernatural abilities. At this point, the autopsy report was also released. The deceased was a 23-year-old, beautiful female model who had suddenly disappeared 4 years ago. When Annie saw the photo, she was stunned. She had sensed it was an 80-year-old elderly woman who had been brutally murdered by her own husband. How could it turn out to be a young, pretty female model? What shocked her even more was that the victim was actually her husband's ex-girlfriend. This made Jack the prime suspect and he was taken away by the police for questioning. Annie felt there were too many oddities in this case and decided to get to the bottom of it. So, she returned to the manor, hoping to find some clues. When she inadvertently glanced out the window, she witnessed an incredibly eerie scene. The elderly woman who had been killed in her mind was standing outside the window, safe and sound, staring straight at her. Annie rushed out to chase after her, but the old woman had already vanished without a trace. This left Annie even more perplexed. Could it be that all the scenes she saw were just figments of her imagination? But how could she explain the mummified corpse in the wall?